In 50 years, I've never seen anything like this. That from a longtime resident of Astoria, Queens, after police discovered 4 bodies in an apartment. Our own Nate Rogers has the full story. And Nate, I understand a 6-year-old boy is among the dead.
Bill, it's a horrific tragedy that has completely stunned this very quiet Astoria neighborhood. Now, 4 people are dead, including 39-year-old James Shields, also dead. Shields' current wife, his ex-wife, and his 6-year-old son.
But a child is even, what do they do wrong? A baby to be killed this way. And that's what's so heartbreaking.
Police were back at the scene Tuesday investigating. Monday night, police discovered 4 bodies inside the apartment at 2307 30th Drive. Authorities are investigating the case as a murder-suicide involving a custody battle.
We have recovered at this point in time 2 Glock firearms. We've recovered, in addition to the 2 Glock firearms, an additional 7 magazines that were fully loaded on his person, and that's over and above the magazines that were in the 2 guns.
Now, ironically, Bill, Shields created this GoFundMe page in April, calling it child kidnapping. He wrote, quote, "Due to my ex's extreme jealousy and bitterness, she is dragging me through court case after court case to be spiteful." Shields wrote that his son wanted to spend more time in the U.S. and that he had previously spent a fortune traveling back and forth to Holland to spend time with the little boy.
And I've seen him in the neighborhood walking here and there. I didn't really know him. A hello, goodbye, but seemed like, like could be your next door neighbor.
Now, Bill, although this tragedy is isolated to this family, the circumstances have sent shockwaves throughout this neighborhood. Astoria is, of course, revered for its very unique restaurants and bars and pretty peaceful living. Violent crime like this almost never happens here.
You rarely see the police. This is an exception to the neighborhood, to this area anyway.
Now, Bill, neighbors also tell us that police have come to this apartment multiple times prior to this incident for various noise complaints, including loud parties. Also, it's believed that Shield lived here less than a year. Many of his neighbors only saw him going and coming. In Queens, I'm Nate Rogers for Chasing News.
Thank you, Nate. All right, let's bring in clinical psychologist Dr. Jeffrey Gardere to just discuss not only the horror of this, but what is going on in someone's brain. Dr. Gardere, first of all, welcome back to Chasing News. Always good to see you. I want to ask you, we just had a story, a father, a mother, 3 little kids, a murder-suicide in Delaware earlier this month. Now this story in Queens. Police are saying this could be over a custody dispute. Tell me from a psychological standpoint, what is going on in people's brains before they commit an act like this?
Typically, this could be a situation of where someone has a lot of pent-up anger and rage, has not been able to talk about it with others, has not been able to find some sort of resolve, and then it just grows and grows and grows to the point of where they can't contain themselves. And I think, Bill, there's also the possibility, and we see it all the time actually, of these individuals who have some sort of pre-existing mental health condition and therefore may be more prone to explosive behavior, even if it's a first-time behavior of this magnitude.
Do you think, is this happening more frequently now, or are we just hearing about it more frequently?
When we look at the proliferation of guns, when we look at the fact that there's not a safety net in many mental health issues, all of those things are perhaps the perfect storm, especially given the fact that we've become a much more angry society, and the contagion factor, which is seeing all of these other sorts of mass shootings and murder-suicides may lower that psychological barrier to then do this oneself.
Doc, let me ask you, because you talk about guns. I mean, certainly with the hundreds of millions of firearms that are out there, most people who are around firearms never do anything close to this, never even comprehend the idea of killing a 6-year-old child, especially your own child, if that is in fact the case here. Have we missed something in terms of parenting and coaching and support for parents? And do people not understand today the finality of death?
Bill, you're absolutely right. We shouldn't paint with a broad brush that people who have guns are dangerous. I think what we're looking at here is that there is a lack of support in society for people who are having emotional challenges or who are having challenges with regard to difficult marriages and relationships. And then these things then mushroom into disaster.
All right. Thanks, Doc. Always good to talk to you. Tough story. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.